Right, number 22. Y is less than or equal to x plus 7, and y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. Which point xy is a solution to the given system of inequalities in the xy plane? When you are trying to find a solution to a system of inequalities, there's 3 different ways you could do this. And which one is the fastest is going to be up to you. Because this is multiple choice, we have these 4 points here. You absolutely, if you wanted to, you could plug each of these points into these 2 equations and see which pair, which ordered pair, which point makes both of these statements true. So you could do that. You can say, okay, for y is less than or equal to x plus 7, you could say negative 14 and 0. Plug in negative 14 for x, 0 for y. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 14 plus 7? Well, negative 14 plus 7 is negative 7. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 7? No. A is out. Then you can say, okay, what about 0 and negative 14? So I plug in 0 for x, negative 14 for y. 0 plus 7 is just 7. Is negative 14 less than or equal to 7? It is, so B is a possibility. All right, C, 0 and 14, 0 for x, 14 for y. Is 14 less than or equal to 0 plus 7 or 7? No, 14 is greater than that, so C is out. And then last but not least, we have D, where x is 14 and y is 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 14 plus 7? Yeah, 14 plus 7 is 21. 0 is less than or equal to that, so it could be D. Now we just have 2 options. And we have that y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. We can plug in either of these 2 options. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick the one that puts in a 0 in for x to get rid of that negative 2. Why not? Because see, if this does work, then I know B is my answer. If it doesn't work, I know D is my answer. I'm plugging in the points for B, where y is going to be negative 14, and negative 2 times 0, which is just 0, minus 1. Is negative 14 greater than or equal to negative 1? No, it is not. That would make my answer D. Can you do it that way? Absolutely. You totally can. And depending on your math proficiency or like plugging things in, it may not take you that long to figure out that D is the answer. The other way you can do this is through graphing. You're going to input both of these into Desmos, and here we go. I have them both here already. Y is less than or equal to x plus 7. Y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. And the area that you want is you want somewhere in this shaded area. Now, the 4 points that they gave, you can do this a couple ways. You could enter all these points here and see which one is in that area, or you can just look at the graph itself. If you're, let's see, if there's 14, 0, then negative 14, 0, 0, 14. I'm not putting them in the order that they were in the A, B, C, D. Sorry about that. I'm just inputting them. There we go. Okay, there's our 4 points. And so, there we got our negative 14, 0, 0, negative 14, 14, 0, and 0, 14. And 14, 0 is the only one that is in the shaded overlapping area. Because this all blue that changes over here as it overlaps, this is the y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. Let's turn off. See, it's that one. So it's a line, negative 2x minus 1, and it is drawn as a solid line because it is greater than or equal to. Anytime we have these inequalities, it's showing all the possible solutions, all the ordered pairs in the universe that would make this statement true. Anything in this blue will make this statement true. Any point that I pick, like here, 0, 10, or 10, 10, or 1, 1, or 2, 2, or any point like that that's in this blue, it could be down here, be up here, wherever, it will make this true. So the blue shaded area is representing the greater than, and the equal to is the line itself. All these points on the line would make y equal to negative 2x minus 1. If this was just y is greater than, I did double there, it would be a dotted line because it's everything up to that line, but it doesn't include it. So it has to be that equal to. Then we have our other one, the red one here, which is y is less than or equal to x plus 7. We have the line y equals x plus 7, and then everything below it. Everything that's in here is in the red, would make this a true statement, and everything that's on the line is where y is equal to x plus 7. So the shaded is where y is less than x plus 7, and the line, which is included, is where y is equal to x plus 7. So the solution would be where they overlap, and the only one that's in that area is 14, 0. So that's going to be our answer again, D. We got the same answer. Woohoo! And last but certainly not least, the other way you can do this, probably not going to be the way you choose to do it on the SAT, but you know, it just depends on you as a person, how fast you are at different things, what you're most comfortable with. You can do a quick sketch. I would not recommend drawing a detailed graph. Like, I'm not going to use the graph paper that's in the background here. You can do a quick sketch, and if you're very familiar with lines and how to graph things, it's not going to take that long. So I'm doing this to represent 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 5, negative 10, negative 15. And this is not to scale, but it's going to give me a quick idea. So if I'm sketching this out, y is less than or equal to x plus 7, I know my y equals mx plus b formula, which is very close to it. I know it's an inequality, but we start by graphing the line as if it was just a regular line. In this case, m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So here, 7 is the slope, and that invisible understood 1 is, did I say 7 was the slope? I'm sorry, 7 is the y-intercept. Correct that if I said that wrong. And the invisible understood 1 is the slope. So that would mean it's crossing somewhere around there, and a slope of 1 means up 1 over 1, like up 1 over 1. So it's going to be about exactly a 45-degree angle, not about. Makes exactly a 45-degree angle. And when you have inequalities for lines, if it says less than and it's not a vertical line, it's going to be beneath it. Everything beneath the line is where you shade. If it says greater than and it's not a vertical line, everything above it is where you shade. And this extends to less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. With other polynomials, when we are doing less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, like if it's a quadratic, like y is greater than or equal to x squared plus 3x, etc. In that case, I always recommend using a test point is the best way to do it. You absolutely could use a test point here as well. You could pick a point. I like 0, 0 if it's not on the line. Plug it in and see if it's true or false. If it's true, that's where you shade. If it's false, you shade on the other side. So here, plug in a 0 for y and a 0 for x. Is 0 less than or equal to 0 plus 7 or 7? 7. Is 0 less than 7? Yes, it is. So I know I'm shading below there. I can use that again if I forget that with lines less than or equal to, we shade below it. So, okay, so just right there with that little quick sketch, because I'm like, okay, it's x plus 7. That's what it's going to look like. It's less than, so I'm shading below it. I've already eliminated the 0, 14. That one's out. And I've already also eliminated the negative 14, 0. That one's out. So just like with the plugging in method that we used for the first round, it eliminates A and C right off the bat. Then we have our other number, or other inequality. When I say number, I don't know. Our other inequality, y is greater than or equal to negative 2x minus 1. So it has a y-intercept of negative 1 and a slope of negative 2, which we could write that as negative 2 over 1. So it's going down 2, then to the right 1. Because this is our rise on top, up or down, and this is our run on the bottom, left or right. Change in y over change in x. So in this case, negative 2 and 1. And you're like, but Alyssa, could it be 2 over negative 1? Yeah, it could. You're going to get the exact same line. Works either way. That's the beauty of it. Just one way you're drawing the line as it goes up this way. The other way you're drawing it as it goes down that way. Same line. Slope facts. So negative 2 over 1, this is going to be a downward sloping line as we go left to right. It's going to be going down and a little steeper. So it's going to be more like this. Again, I don't have to be precise, just a quick estimate. And already I can see there, because it's starting at that negative 1 and then going away down to the right. This point down here, 0, negative 14. And also I didn't say this, but I should have, because this is a greater than or equal to, it's going to be shading above it. So it's going to be this up here. I'm going to be shading above it, and I'm doing a poor job shading because my little brush is so tiny. I should have changed that before I attempted this. There we go. That's a little better. But just as soon as I drew that line, and I know because it's greater than or equal to, I'm going to be shading above it, it's already eliminating those 2 points, which one of those I know was already eliminated, but it eliminates the other one, which is 0, negative 14. So again, 14, 0 is going to be the right answer. For most of you, I suspect that just putting it into Desmos is going to be the fastest way. But even if you choose that, you still have to know what you're looking for. It's not an automatic, Desmos can't just tell you the answer. You do have to know that when you are searching for a solution to inequalities, the inequality, the point, has to be in the area where they overlap. Not the area like this might be like, oh, what about this? Because this is the area where nothing is, no color is. Maybe that's the answer. No. It has to be the area where they overlap. So D, 14-0 is my answer.
Hey guys, it's Alyssa, and if you're looking for more SAT or PSAT prep, go to mathwithalyssa.com. There you can get over 25 hours of test prep, including math and reading and writing. That's not available on my YouTube channel, just over there, along with practice questions, downloadable study guides, and more. Links to everything you need are down in the description below. If you have any questions or suggestions for what a future video should be about, leave those in the comments below. And if this video was helpful or useful in any way, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Let that YouTube algorithm know it helped you. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Bye.